All right, this is my last video for right now. I wanted to give a really, really big shout out. This has been like 2 years in the making, 3 years in the making actually. Women's college basketball. I know most people don't care, because I'm not even going to go into that. I like women's college basketball. I like women's basketball, WNBA. So I am excited for the WNBA season. But until that point, we have uh women's college basketball, and this season so far it has been epic, at least to me. The fact that we got Juju Watkins versus Paige Beckers already this year, um, so the next two number one picks in the draft, which is crazy, um, it was amazing to watch. They put on a showcase for women's basketball, not just for right now, just the future in general. Um, and Now they did. Now I'm gonna reference this game because this is where this video spawns from. I was watching that game live, and I was not missing anything from it. UConn was getting their face kicked in. They was down by almost 20 because USC could not. Uh, they could not miss from 3 point line. But Juju, so they cut it to like 5. They cut it to like 2 actually. They got it real close. But the Trojans, they stayed composed. They handled business. Juju hit a tough N1, like a mid-range N1 from the free throw. I was like, how you do that? Um, Keely, I don't know how to say her name. Keely Irafin. I'm sorry for butchering that. She flirted with a triple double and dominated the paint early. That was the one thing I noticed about that game, especially compared to how they played last year. It was literally last year in the tournament. It was a lot of, I don't know. It just felt like a lot of ISO ball from USC. And this year it felt like they took initiative and wanted to dominate in the paint. Um, But both Juju and Paige are carrying their teams right now, and it's been fun to watch them grow over the last couple of years. Um, See them as both as favorites and underdogs handle business. Uh, because you can see in that game that UConn they did not look like they were going to turn it around. They just could not, because USC just couldn't miss from the 3 point line, and UConn just could not hit anything at all. But that third quarter, when that crowd got into it, it was over from there. So that was good to see. Hannah Hidalgo, another another amazing season so far. She's averaging 26 a game, 6 rebounds as a point guard, which is egregious. And she's averaging almost 4 assists and 4. She's averaging more steals than assists, which is crazy. uh, Olivia Miles, I don't know. She keep dropping like dimes out there. I don't know who the hell she thinks she is, but every time I see her, it's just dime after dime. It's like some Magic Johnson type stuff. Um, but they showed up versus UConn earlier this season, and they dominated USC. The USC game was not for Notre Dame. That USC Notre Dame game was not as close as the score indicated. So it was good to see three stars out there balling out. And another topic, Tennessee and their first year coach Kim Caldwell is kicking everybody's teeth in, including my mother's alma mater at North Carolina Central University. They won by 80 points, which is insane. And it wasn't even like the other team didn't score a lot. They just scored a whole hell of a lot more. They scored 30. They made 33 pointers, man. It's just crazy. Caldwell did get a lot of criticism or a lot of skepticism coming from Glenville State. Would that carry over? And I ain't heard not one negative thing he said. She been coming out here balling. She kicking faces in. She taking names. She doing what needs to be done. Uh she putting on for the lady volunteers. Pat Summit would be very, very proud. Kim Mulkey and Flau'jae Johnson continue to, that's LSU down there. Now, I was concerned that Angel Reese wasn't, like, how they were going to play when Angel Reese wasn't there. But Michaela Williams, that might be one of my favorite players in the country. She a smooth bucket, though. She pull. I was like, oh, all right, hold on now. And Anisha Moore averaging 14 rebounds a game. They out there shutting it down in the paint. And then you go from the connection to LSU was Haley Van Lith. Where are they at now? Let me see their standings actually. What type of what? Oh, huh? We need to streamline websites. Because what am I looking at? Why is it not just. Okay. Oh, rankings. It wasn't there. They are still 11th in the country. TCU is 11th in the country. There hasn't been much change. Because I originally wanted to make this video like 2 weeks ago, 2, 3 weeks ago, before Christmas. And there hasn't been much change from like the notes that I wrote and the actual like layout of stuff. Like when I started this, Hidalgo was averaging over 26, like 26.6. But now she's averaging 25.9, 25.9, so 26 points. TCU is still 11th in the nation. They beat Notre Dame, and Van Lith had a double-double versus NC State. She became emotional because you can see that she's transforming as a player. Now, she's still a cone on defense. That ain't changed. I love her, but she's still a cone on defense. That hasn't changed. But, getting a double-double, turning around, finding success outside of Louisville and outside of LSU, is a big stepping stone for her. Oklahoma, just this school in general, has surprised the hell out of me as far as basketball and men and women's. They both dominated. Now when I made this, they was 11-1. Oklahoma now is 13-2. I don't know what the hell happened with Oklahoma basketball, but they, you know what I'm saying, they've been surprising me. So they had Tennessee. They lost to Texas by 7, and then they went to Tennessee and won by 1 point. When I made this, I was like, Texas and Tennessee are right around the corner for them, so those are gonna be a huge test for them. And they've done what needed to be done. And so I want to give a shout out to Maryland's Kayleen Smickle. She scored 1,000 points versus William & Mary. Deja Kelly scored 2,000 at Oregon. Congratulations to both of them. Iowa women's basketball found themselves in a weird spot. They don't have Lisa Bluter anymore, and they don't have Caitlin Clark, but they are still playing. They are still taking care of business. Where they are 23rd in the country. They just lost the game, didn't they? Yeah, they just lost to Maryland by 8. But Maryland just had 1,000-point score, Smickle, and Maryland's actually balling out right now. So they've been putting in work. And congrats to Caitlin Clark for getting her jersey retired at Iowa. That deuce. And so the last two teams I want to discuss is South Carolina and UCLA. These two played each other earlier the year, and UCLA dominated them. Dawn Staley was just, she's trying to get used to life without that dominant inside presence, but she'll figure it out. She relying on Pow, Chloe Kitts, and sadly, no more Ashlyn Watkins. She was my favorite player, and now she's not. She tore her ACL, which sucks. I really, really like watching Ashlyn Watkins. That's why I said Michaela Williams is my favorite player, because Ashlyn Watkins just got hurt. So it sucks to see that. Shout out to Ashlyn. She got that dunk early this year and everything. That's a hooper right there. So I don't know. I think she got 1 or 2 more years, probably 1 more year in college. So I have to wait to see her next season. But and then UCLA continued to dominate. They just smacked the skin off Purdue yesterday, which is crazy. Not crazy, but they smacked the skin off their head. They the number 1 team in the country for a reason. After they lost versus LSU in the Sweet 16, they picked themselves up, and they done came back this season with a vengeance. Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice, they both averaging 20. Betts is averaging 20 and 10. Jaime Jaquez's sister Gabriella is still on the team, so all 3 of them are handling their scoring business. But on Valentine's Day, this is very, very important, because women's college basketball like to do this. It's a very big game. USC versus UCLA. It'll probably be 1 versus 2 again. So I'm excited for that. So that's real quick. I do a real quick women's basketball synopsis. I know I'm gonna do another one when the women's tournament comes around, just to talk about where the teams are, who I got, things of that nature. But now, once this wraps up, the WNBA season. Now that I've gotten older and I've learned to appreciate more sports, the WNBA season, I'm looking very much forward to seeing how that plays out. Very, very, very much forward to see how that plays out. Because we're looking at some of the GOATs. But that is all I want to say for that. Shout out to the ladies playing college basketball. Shout out to all the women's coaches, stuff like that. And if you support them, continue to support. They need the love. If you a hater, just say you don't like the sport and move on with your life. You don't get you don't earn those stripes for saying, man, who would what? You don't earn stripes for that, bro. You're not cool. So I want to say thank you for watching. I love you. Bye.